We are being joined live by Mr. Nitin A. Gokhale. He is a national security analyst and author. Thank you so much, Mr. Gokhale, for joining us on Beyond World is One.
My pleasure, please.
So, over the last few hours, we've witnessed India respond in a very calibrated and precise manner, targeting the terrorist infrastructure within Pakistan and not the state of Pakistan itself. However, what we're seeing from Pakistan is a troubling sense of incongruence, from ceasefire violations to its retaliatory targeting of civilian and military infrastructure, which is a stark departure, I would say, from India's strategic restraint and precision. So, sir, given this asymmetry in approach, how do you foresee the situation unfolding in the coming days?
Well, I think it's very clear. India has made it abundantly clear in the past 48 hours that it does not want to escalate. But if a war is imposed on India, then India will take absolutely proportional and appropriate action. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has said this. External Affairs Minister Jaishankar has said this. And India's own press statements have said that the Indian strikes were calculated, precise, focused, and non-military and non-escalatory in nature. If Pakistan does not get that message, and if India has also made it clear that if they try and attack Indian military installations or Indian military targets, then all bets are off. I think that message is very clear. Probably Pakistan wants to test India's patience and India's air defense systems and India's capabilities. And that is why what you're seeing in the past 24 hours or about 36 hours is Pakistan's desperate attempt to shore up its own image and status in the Pakistani society, the Pakistan Army's status and prestige. So this will continue for some time. But if it goes beyond a certain patience limit, then India will also hit back appropriately, is what my sense is.
So that's right, and India has been quite unequivocal in its claims. And Mr. Gokhale, given Pakistan's pattern of plausible deniability and its use of non-state actors as strategic assets, do you think that India's calibrated response marks a shift in its traditional posture? And if so, what message does this send to both Islamabad and the international community?
I think it is not just calibrated; it is also very calculated. It is India for the first time has hit terrorist headquarters, terrorist organizations headquarters in Muridke and Bhavalpur, which was considered a no-no for many years. Indian decision makers in the national security apparatus and even in the political segment always felt that this is something that is escalatory and the Pakistani army or the terrorists will go berserk if that is done. But India has shown that it can hit and hit decisively and effectively, as was done on 7th of May early morning. And after that, Pakistan-based terrorist groups also sponsored and supported and initiated by the Pakistani army have no place to hide. At least they cannot have overground and overt presence in Pakistani cities. They'll have to go underground. They'll have to hide themselves. I think that is a effect of India's strike against terrorist infrastructure and terrorist headquarters, which has been achieved after the 7th May Indian precise and pinpointed attacks.
Right, Mr. Gokhale, and that leads me to my last question. We've seen a nervous Pakistan resort to fake news and digital propaganda. We've seen fabricated military victories to misleading narratives aimed at shaping the global perception. Now, given the intensity of the information war, could you help us and our viewers understand just how serious this is and why it's so important to stay vigilant against such misinformation, especially right now?
Well, you have to stay vigilant because today there's an overload of information, which can, and there are several platforms that bring information to gullible citizens and viewers and readers. So one has to certainly stay, very vigilant because deep fakes can mislead you, as probably you would have seen yesterday. Pakistan got a taste of its own medicine when the DG ISPR's press conference was probably dubbed so effectively and beautifully that there is a video circulating where he's supposedly admitting to having lost two JF-17 airplanes to India. which turned out to be fake. It was some voice and modulation was imposed on his original video. So one has to be very, very careful. It can mislead and it can demoralize anyone who falls victim to it. But I'm not surprised that Pakistan is doing this right from 1947 when it was created. Pakistan has been taking support and help of lies and blatant lies, not just to its own people, but also to the international community, to the United Nations. And I mean, more hilariously, I must point out that on 6 September 1965, 60 years ago, nearly 60 years ago, when Indian troops entered Pakistan and went near Lahore, short of Lahore, about 8 to 10 kilometers short of Lahore. That day is celebrated in Pakistan as Pakistan Defense Day, even to this to date after 60 years. Even after the 1971 surrender in Dhaka, which happened on 13th of December 1971. If you look at the Dawn newspaper headline, General Yahya Khan says that we will fight till the end, although they had already surrendered in East Pakistan and had ceasefire had been declared in West Pakistan. So that's Pakistan's nature. It's in its very DNA to lie, to misinform, to disinform, and to deceive its own people. Forget about anybody else. So I think we need to be aware of this fact and fact of history.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Gokhale, for joining us on the broadcast and sharing your perspective with us.